Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. It is April 19th. I'm Caitlin Newclow.
And I'm Nicole Nalepa. Good morning, everyone. First, we have a lot to cover, but we do want to check in with meteorologist Jill Gilardi for how the forecast is going to be today and also this weekend, Jill.
Of course. Right now, we are hoping to get some more breaks of sunshine. Really kind of struggling at this point in time. So fairly overcast start to the day, but at least it's not raining. We'll take that. I found a little blue hole that would be down towards New London, where the clouds are thinning there. 44 degrees, north wind at 6 miles per hour. It does create a colder feel, so you will need a jacket this morning as you step outside. Everywhere else is in the actual 40s, but feeling a little cooler. And as we progress through the day, some breaks of sunshine, temperatures climbing into the upper 50s to near 60 degrees inland, low to mid 50s along the shoreline. And then eventually we'll start to see another round. I know the last thing you want to hear is more rain. That's going to be coming in, especially overnight tonight into tomorrow. So if you have Earth Day celebration plans for this weekend, I'll let you know how long that rain will last. That's all coming up in the next few minutes, but for now we're going to get an update on traffic. Everything okay over there?
Yeah,
Caitlin?
things are moving along very nicely this morning, Jill, for the most part. However, first alert, I am filing a road closure for you here in Middlefield. This is Route 157 closed right at Sunset Drive. DOT is reporting it's all because we've got some wires down across the roadway this morning. So please make sure that you're avoiding it if you are heading out the door through the area. Other than that, no crashes, no major incidents. We're going to start to see some of that daytime construction work pick up just about 8:30, 9 o'clock. That's when we see the majority and the bulk of that daytime construction. But look at how nice and quiet it is so far here to start your Friday at 7:02. Live look outside in Hartford, 91 north and southbound. A live look in Middletown along Route 9. Here in Waterbury, 84 east and westbound. And in Meriden, 691 east and westbound. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, thanks, Kate. We continue to stay on top of some developing news in Colchester this morning. That's where police ended up shooting a man last night, and investigators are still at that home right now on Norwich Avenue.
And that's where we find Channel 3 New London Bureau Chief Luke Hydash live this morning with the details, and you have an exclusive interview. Tell us what you know.
Good morning. It took about 12 hours, but police have finally finished up their work at that home on Norwich Avenue where that shooting happened. And now the attention turns to the investigation into exactly what happened leading up to that. Sources telling us this morning that about 6:30 last night, a little more than 12 hours ago, there was some type of fight between a landlord and a tenant. And when police got called, they arrived there. The landlord pulled a gun on police. A Colchester police officer shot that man. We learned that this morning. Both a police officer and that man were brought to the hospital. No update on their condition this morning. Meanwhile, we are hearing from the tenant who was involved in that fight. He says most scary of all was protecting his son.
I was just nervous about my son. I wanted to make sure. I didn't know where the shots were going through, if it was going to turn into, you know, return fire. I didn't want fire coming through the floors or anything, so we tucked him in the corner of a room, and we just covered the doors and made sure nothing was coming up the stairs as a threat, and we just did what we had to do to make sure, ensure his safety.
Still waiting for an update this morning on how the officer and the suspect, who were both brought to the hospital, are doing as police continue their investigation. We are live in Colchester this morning. Luke Hydash, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
We're also following breaking news right now in Suffield. That's where we're told crews are battling a fire, or earlier this morning they were, at a condominium complex.
Yeah, that fire happened at the Brandywine Village, and our Pinpoint News Tracker shows you exactly where that's located, not too far from Suffield Academy and right off of Bridge Street. Now, firefighters have left the scene there, and we are just at this point continuing to update and obviously follow up with firefighters to see what exactly caused it and whether anyone was hurt. So stay tuned, of course, for more updates on that. Also, the two U.S. leaders have confirmed that an Israeli missile hit Iran. And this strike follows last weekend's drone and missile attack against Israel. Iranian state media claims that air defense batteries fired across several regions, but did not elaborate, although many in Iran reported hearing the sounds. In particular, air defenses were reportedly fired from a major air base, which has been home to Iran's fleet of American-made F-14 Tomcats. Flights in the area were initially diverted, and others have just been canceled altogether. No officials, though, from Iran, Israel, or even the U.S. have issued a formal statement.
2 people are dead after a fire in Wallingford, and police now believe a crime was committed there as well. A 3rd person is in critical condition and had to be flown to the burn center. The fire broke out on the 2nd floor of a home on Geneva Avenue, and police have not released the details of the victims yet or their names. Details on the investigation have also not been released. The Red Cross, we do know, is helping the families who lived on the other floors.
A 3rd arrest has been made in a deadly shooting right outside of Waterbury Superior Court. 26-year-old Nicholas Chiapponi was taken into custody and charged with murder and conspiracy. He is currently being held on a $3 million bond. But the motive in the case remains a mystery this morning. 26-year-old Jaron Chapman was gunned down after leaving court back in March. 2 other people, a man and a woman, have already been arrested in that case.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is 7:06. It's challenging to find an iCam view that shows much in the way of any sunshine for now, but we could see some breaks certainly as the day goes on. But clouds have been thickening up through this morning. It's chilly out there. Now, we got a break from the high pollen count, but that's changing clearly. You see the red, especially by Sunday. It's really going to spike again. So if you're outside doing some yard work, don't forget to take your allergy meds. But we're dry through this afternoon. Temperatures are going to be not bad for this time of year, a little bit below average, mid and upper 50s, inland to near 60, really depending on how much sunshine we receive, and the shoreline temperatures will be a little bit cooler. So the chance for wet pods this morning, this afternoon, and most of this evening is fairly low. Our next best chance is actually coming overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. I'll get into the details regarding the timing of that rain chance. That's all coming up in about 5 minutes from now. Nicole?
All right. Thanks, Jill.